Welcome to Off Your Game, episode 7. Brother Josh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. As you can see, I've been kidnapped and locked in a room with Ron. Here we are together again, back again.
Back again, not Baku again, like that was when Arsenal went to Baku and ended up messing up the Europa League. Brother Josh, how are you doing? What's your week been like?
Long,
Oh.
even though it was short. A short, long week or a long, short week?
Yeah.
Week, one of the two.
You can't have both of them, eh? But Brother Josh, in general, how's your health?
No, I'm getting better.
Is it?
Just been struggling a little bit with going to winter.
Yeah.
Everybody's, I think, getting sick, little colds and.
So it's not actually us that get sick; it's the people that's getting sick.
Yeah, no, people must just stay away from me. Don't stand so close to me, as Sting said.
But that's what they say. That's what they say. So, Brother Josh, on the show today, we're obviously going to do our intro, which I think we did already. There's nothing more to discuss because we've got a loaded show
There's lots
today.
to discuss, but
yeah, we'll get to that. And then, of course, we've got the Premier League status. So we're going to go and deep dive into the Premier League and see how things are going. We know how things are going, but I think there's quite a few people that doesn't know how things are going. You know them way there. Did you see Expressions? Have you been able to see his
I've been watching a lot of Expressions.
Yeah, but have you seen the Liverpool stream?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you saw the end of it.
I watched his watch.
You watched it. Did you see the end of it?
I saw it. I saw it a couple of times. Let's put it that way.
I also saw it a couple of times.
Pew, pew. I knew he was going to say pew pew when Charleston scored.
Yeah, and then he did that dance thing.
And Mr. Richard Arlison.
Yeah. And then, obviously, was it in that game? And then, obviously, Jurgen Klopp had the hamstring problem. So he's going to be out for a couple of weeks.
He said 6 weeks if he was a player. But he should be okay to be on touchline. Well, he's probably going to be banned, but that's another story.
I was here in the Fulham game in terms of moving. He wasn't able to move because of the hamstring.
He was
problem.
very, he stood on the touchline. He could walk. He was fine. Didn't run at all.
Is it? Shame.
We're going to start him up front, actually.
Seeing that we're not going to discuss the games of the weekend because we're going to go to the next week, your thoughts on the Fulham-Liverpool game? 1-0 Liverpool.
Not a great performance, but I liked it because it was like one of those, even in the two, I still think Liverpool's best season in terms of playing, actual quality of play was the 18-19 season, where they finished with 97 points, finished second, and won the Champions League.
Okay, yeah, that season. Yeah.
The following season, when they won the league by 18 points, I don't think they played as well as the previous season. But they were more efficient. They got a lot of 1-0 wins. They kept a lot of clean sheets. Especially in the first half of the season, I think Liverpool conceded hardly any goals in the first 20-21 games. Remember, they won 27 of their first 28 games. They just drew at Old Trafford when Divock Origi, the legend, was fouled. And United scored from that.
I remember.
Yeah.
What was that score?
It was
1-1. Was it 2-2?
1-1. Yeah.
And then they lost to Watford.
They lost 3-0 to Watford. That was the first loss.
But did they lose again that season?
When they came back, because remember then they had the break for COVID, and
Yeah.
when they came back, they lost 2 games.
Oh, did they?
I think they ended up losing 3 games. They only lost 1 game the previous season.
And then 3.
Which was the City game, the 2-1 game where the millimeters off the line by Stones, I think, and
so they would have gone undefeated.
If they had got a draw in that game, Leroy Sané winner.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Just after Bobby equalized.
Yeah. What was the final score on that one?
2-1.
2-1. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So there we go. Liverpool 1-0 Fulham. Man City beat West Ham. West Ham made about 9 changes because they are concentrating on. I can't remember who they're playing this. Oh, they're playing United. They're playing their host United on Sunday after Arsenal play Newcastle, and then they've got the Europe.
Come on, the Hammers. The Hammers.
Come on, you Hammers. And then obviously we'll have a look at the log now when we go to the Premier League status to see how Liverpool. So I predicted that Liverpool will finish 4th. And then Josh obviously said that that's only possible if Liverpool win all their games. So now, even if they do win all their games, they need Man United, who just dropped. By the way, I just wanted to get to the Man United Brighton game,
which I did watch. Good game.
Yeah, I thought United were better than they were in any of the other Brighton games. But just analyze.
First half, second half, I thought they were poor.
Yeah, they were. The Brighton game at Old Trafford Then the game at what do they call their stadium?
Amex.
Amex.
The 4-0 game at Old
yeah,
Trafford.
the FA Cup. Did Man United beat Brighton 4-0?
No, Brighton beat United 4-0 in the first game.
Oh, yeah, it was 4-0.
What was it Brentford? No, Brentford won.
No,
4-0.
Brentford won 4-0.
Sorry, no.
Brentford, yeah.
That was 2-1, I think.
The point I'm getting to is Brighton have battered Man United. If you add, what have they played 4 times now? So what is that? 360
4
minutes.
or 3.
Didn't they play a cup game as well? No.
Semi-final.
2 league games. Yeah, they played 2 league games.
And the FA Cup semi-final.
FA Cup semi-final. Oh, yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I think they played 4 times.
It just feels that way. Yeah. The extra time.
No, they played Liverpool in the FA Cup.
They knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup.
So they played Liverpool 3 times as well. Yeah. So, but anyway, the point I'm trying to say is they
dominated Liverpool as
yes,
well.
They battered these teams, and Man United always in with a shout on the counter. Anthony had a chance in the first half. Did you watch the start of it?
Yeah.
There was an Anthony chance.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that was after Mitoma should have scored. You remember the Mitoma chance?
He knocked
straight
he knocked him out.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So
he was saying Tweety Birds.
Yeah. So Brighton, they the team that I like.
But Brighton did do the double in the league against United.
They did, yeah. So they did beat them in the first. I just want to double check that.
I'm sure United lost their first 2 games of the season. I'm sure Brighton was the first game of the season, and then they lost to Brentford 4-0 in the second game. I was getting confused. I think they won 2-1, Brighton.
Yeah. Let's have a look at Brighton.
But yeah, second half, I felt like United were actually playing for the draw. Shaw had a brilliant game. Shaw was man in the match until he somehow just was dancing at the end. Because you heard an old rap song.
So Man United 1, Brighton 2. Why is Cristiano Ronaldo here? Gee whiz. He played. He came on for Fred in the 53rd minute. Gee whiz. So I almost said Luke McAllister, the rugby player. Alexis McAllister scored an own goal in that game. And then Pascal Gross.
The least Argentinian sounding Argentinian.
So Brighton actually won. You're right. It was the first game of the season and Brighton won 2-1. So that was actually quite interesting. The Premier League review. So let's have a look. So Manchester City absolutely running away with the league. There's no chance for anybody else to come and win the league. That has been the theme since Manchester City demolished Arsenal Football Club about, 9 days ago? 8 days ago? 9 days ago? So both teams have lost 4 games. Arsenal drew 2 more. Obviously, Man City have a game in hand, and the game in hand is Brighton and Hove and Albion away from home, a couple of days before the end of the season. So there's still hope, I guess, but I don't think Arsenal will do their job. Man City might still do their job, I get it. But even if they drop, I think Arsenal got to play Newcastle and Brighton. And Forest might be fighting. They close to the bottom, so they will be fighting. Arsenal have to go to the City ground. They've lost there like 3 out of 5 times in the history. I don't know if they've played back in the day at that ground. Isn't that like a newer ground? When I say back in the day, I'm talking about 70s, 80s, because Arsenal always used to struggle against Forest. So it might not be at the City ground, or what do they call it? What's the ground's name of Forest?
You know? That's a good question.
I don't know why it can't be the City ground because there's no
make
city.
Sense.
But
it can't be
the Forest
Forest ground.
But
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, it just slipped my mind. I'm gonna check on this thing. Josh, give me your thoughts on Liverpool being 4 points behind United.
United do have a game in hand.
They do, yes.
I feel like
I'm gonna double check who that game in hand is.
I feel like Liverpool can win their last 4 games, but I just think it's gonna fall short. Yeah. I think United need 9 points because Liverpool's goal difference is obviously clearly a lot better, 15 goals better than United. So United need to make sure of 4th. Well, they actually need. If Brighton win all their games, that takes them to 73 points. So in theory, United need 74 points. So they need 11 points. But Brighton are not going to win all the games. They've got some tough games. They've got to play City. They've got to play Arsenal. They're not going to win all those games.
So just on Man United, they've got not West Ham. Let me respect them this time. West Ham United. So they're playing 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening. How nice is that? So there's a possibility that West Ham can win that game. I think it's going to be a draw because I think West Ham will dominate. But
you do?
In terms of chances great. But I think United.
What makes you say that?
I just see them dominating ball possession, not finishing their chances, and Man United getting a counter-attacking goal from Rashford if he's fit. He's been getting a lot of kicks recently. So what do you think about that West Ham Man
I think
United?
United will win.
Oh.
I think United tend to be in and out, win one, lose one.
Oh yeah, true. So they did their mess up already, and you reckon they'll go again. Then they've got the Wolves at home. They'll definitely win that. Wolves are, I don't know if they can still get into the relegation fight, but they will. They're not looking good, in all honesty. They got thumped by Brighton 6-0 last week.
So.
And then
they did beat Chelsea.
Wolves. Did they? Jeez. The mighty Chelsea!
In Lampard's first game as a manager.
So I just feel that Bournemouth is playing United then, so there's a possibility that points could be dropped. I can see 2 draws in their last 5 games. So I can see them dropping 4 points. Does that help Liverpool? Yes, it does.
No.
Oh, no, it doesn't, because they've got the game in hand. So it doesn't help. So they need to drop 7 points, am I right?
Yeah, 15.
Or 6 or 5. 7 points.
Yeah.
Okay. So there we go. Man United,
Chelsea.
Come on, Chelsea!
Chelsea.
So so in order
Chelsea
for
have to win a game before the end of the season.
they have to, yeah. So
just on law of averages.
Yes. So there we go. So Man United possibly drawing against West Ham, possibly drawing against Bournemouth, and possibly losing to Chelsea for Liverpool to get into the Champions League.
Sounds far-fetched.
I do see it being far-fetched, but all Liverpool can do is keep on winning. All Arsenal can do is keep on winning, and then see what happens after that. There's going to come a couple of games in between the Real Madrid games where there's only 2 days rest for Man City. Yes, they've got the squad, but are you going to rest all 11 in the next game? You're going to spoil your rhythm. So they can't rest all 11 players 2 days later when they have to play. I don't think it's Everton that they have to play 2 days later.
Is Kevin De Bruyne injured now?
I think he's got a knocker, but they're probably saving him for the Champions League game. So we've both sat here and even though I worked out Arsenal will get 94 and Man City will get 93. When I worked things out, that was obviously saying that Arsenal will draw with Liverpool. Arsenal will lose to Man City, but Arsenal will win all the other games. So that's clearly not happening. So Arsenal not doing their job. Man City's doing their job. Arsenal's not, or haven't.
My take on the whole Arsenal, and I've listened to a lot of different people talking about Arsenal with widely different opinions. The thing is with City, and we've seen it in the races with Liverpool, they will in the season that we're talking about, the 18-19 season. Liverpool won their last 9 games. City won their last 14 games.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
14. It took them. They only won by a point, and they had to win their last 14 games to win by a point. Yeah. City just get the way, because they have a good squad, because Pep is able to rotate more than most teams throughout the season. He gets the team fit and rearing to go. When other teams are maybe dropping off because injuries and fatigue, whatnot, City just peak. And
at the right time.
Thanks to, let's say, nefarious circumstances, they are able to do that. And it's just very difficult. Also, we're bound to go through it could be, I think part of it is mentality.
Yeah,
part of it is pressure.
Yeah.
Part of it is just teams go through dips in the season.
Yeah.
It's a natural.
Yeah. And it just happened to be at the wrong
time. And I don't think the Liverpool game was the key game. I think obviously losing a 2-0 lead is not great, but a draw at Anfield is never a bad result. It was a West Ham game. It was being 2-0 up. I think they were complacent.
Yeah. Which is weird. They haven't done anything. So why are you complacent? I'm not talking about now holistically. You haven't done anything, but you're complacent. So that I don't get. So I agree that they were, but I don't understand how they could be if they've done nothing. They've been great this season, but that, as you can see now. So we're going to be trophyless at the end of the day. But you're complacent during games.
And the Southampton game, what do you think happened there?
That is just based on all the stuff that happened in the second half against Liverpool and the 60 minutes after going 2-0. Actually, let's say 80 minutes after going 2-0 up. Obviously, things could have changed from a momentum standpoint if Saka scored the penalty. So then maybe they go on and win that game.
I'm sure they win the game if Saka scores.
Yes, and then obviously, so then that pressure then still would have lost against Man City because they're just great and they got the way to play against Arsenal in terms of how they're able to press us. Saliba wouldn't have made a massive difference. But I've analysed on my podcast that actually Saliba does make a huge difference because Arsenal's right side has been poor since he's not played. So he's the right-sided centre back. Ben White has struggled, and
But
then Saka has struggled.
let's be realistic that Arsenal have been lucky this season with injuries. They haven't had a lot of injuries to key players throughout the season, as opposed to other clubs.
Yeah. So Jesus, how long was he injured for?
Okay, one or two players, but I mean, if you think about it, the amount of injuries, like Liverpool, Jota was out most of the season. Luis Diaz was out most of the season. Konate's been out a lot most of the season, in and out. One game he plays 2-3 games and he's injured again. He plays 2-3 games and he's injured. Midfield has been in. Thiago's been injured. Newcastle have had loads of injuries.
Yeah, but now the problem with Arsenal is they haven't yet. That's what people don't understand. That's why we're not we are competing still based on that, but technically it's over. Tomiyasu out for the season. Ben White would
I don't
have
rate
been.
Tomiyasu.
Well, everybody else rates him very high. He's a very good defender. He plays right centre back, left centre back, right back. Okay, so there we go. So it's not about rating; it's about better than holding. So Ben White would have played centre back. Tomiyasu would have played right back. Ben White wouldn't have needed to lose form by playing every week. Yes, he could have played right at right centre back. Then you don't have holding. Then you've got Tomiyasu at right back.
Why didn't they play White at centre back when Saliba got injured?
And then who plays right back?
He could play Zinchenko at right. Zinchenko doesn't play as a defender.
Yeah.
Tierney could have played left back. Zinchenko could have played
Tierney could
right
have
back.
played. Yeah, Tierney could have. He's actually played for Scotland on the right side. He could have done that, yes. But I'm just saying the guys that's injured now, and
You have got
Kivio. Yeah,
Kivio.
he played now on the right, but that's because they've now changed the system. So you've got two left-sided centre backs. So you've got Gabriel playing left centre back, Kivio now playing centre back. So it morphs into you starting with a 3. So Ben White isn't pushing up now anymore. It's now right.
So they're kind of doing what Liverpool have been doing now, except with the opposite fullbacks.
Opposite fullbacks, yeah. So now Zinchenko is really pushing into midfield, even though he's always there anyway. And now you've got two left centre backs. So Kivio in the middle, Gabriel on the.
How difficult is it for you if you're left-sided centre back to play as a right-sided centre back?
I just feel it's the way that Arteta attacks that it doesn't make sense. But it clearly worked against Chelsea now the other day. So we'll see if they continue with that. Gabriel went off injured against Chelsea. So we'll see if he plays again. Otherwise, it's going to be Holding and Kivio, which is going to be big problems against Newcastle. Callum Wilson. Huh?
Newcastle have been firing, and I think they've won 7 of their last 8 league games.
8 league games. So it's going to be a very tough game. We'll see how that goes.
I honestly thought that Newcastle would. If Liverpool would get, let's say 6 games ago, I thought if Liverpool could get 69 points, they would finish top 4.
Because Newcastle would have dropped.
Because Newcastle wouldn't be on. I thought Newcastle would finish on about 66, 67.
No,
but clearly that's not the case.
So yeah, their goal difference is almost up to Arsenal's.
Plus the game in hand.
So we'll see how it goes. I just want to quickly, if you don't mind, get to the battle of the bottom. Look at Chelsea's form there, brother Josh. Last 5 games. Is this the latest one? No, that can't be. Because
the draw was the last game under Potter.
Okay, yes. So the 4 losses under Frank Lampard.
He's lost those 4 games and 2 in the Champions League.
So that's 6 losses.
006. Naught wins, naught draws, 6 losses.
So they're 1 point off the magic 40 points, and we are both saying that they will go to Old Trafford and stay in the league.
I think I'm not saying that, but I don't think they need 40 points.
Okay. So you think they're safe? They can lose all the games. Yeah.
I think Wolves are safe.
Yeah, I think so too. So
I think 37 is enough.
37 is enough. Yeah.
Because
the other teams aren't going to win all their games. They're playing each other and all that.
30 points is at the moment safe if you got the goal difference. And they only got 4 games left. So in order to get 2 wins out of the last 4 would be a great result for either Leicester, Leeds, or Forest.
So based on that league, do you think the bottom 4 are the 4 other than Southampton fighting it out for relegation?
Yes, I think Leeds are going to go down. I think Leeds have got tough fixtures.
Yeah.
They're playing City this weekend.
And then it's either Forest or Everton. Remember, Everton will still play Man City. So I think Leicester's still in it because of being on 30 points. Yeah. Now I'm looking at the goal difference. I'm not looking at the points, but yeah. So 16 till 19 can go down with Southampton. So Southampton, they done.
Yeah. I mean, even if they win their last 4 games, they're on 36.
36, yeah.
Which could see them up, but they're not going to win their
They're
last
not going to
4
win
games.
all of them, yeah. So tough one. So Josh, just once again, we've changed it a million times. Let's give our 3 and let's stick to it.
It's difficult I haven't looked at the fixtures intently. But off the top of my head, I would say Leeds are going down and Forest. I'm going to stick with the 3 that I said last time.
So Everton to
Southampton, Forest, and Leeds. Purely based on the fact that Everton, their pedigree, the fact they haven't been relegated since the 50s. I think.
Sean Dyche. They call him the British Stone Cold Steve Austin because he looks just like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I think that's a bit of an insult to Stone Cold Steve Austin. But okay.
And then, so we both are going into an agreement, but it can change again next week. So we both reckon that Leeds...
Well, Leeds are going to lose this week. That I can guarantee. They're not going to get anything from City.
Yeah.
Do you know who Forest is playing?
We're actually getting to the fixtures now. So there we go. The fixtures for this upcoming weekend. Forest at home to Southampton.
That is a must-win game for Forest. Forest, that's their game. They have to win that game.
Is the must-win for Southampton?
It is, but I don't think it's... Even if they win it, I think
they're gone. So let's actually start bottom and then go up. So Monday, there is a whole host of lower division teams.
They're playing Monday afternoon.
Yeah, I think it's got to do with the coronation of the king this weekend. So that's one of the reasons. And
is there a king in England?
Well, now there is. King Charles, God save the king.
I'd rather say nothing on that.
Here we go.
So Fulham Leicester, that's a huge game as well for Leicester.
Yeah, and
I see it
dropped.
Fulham have been... I've heard a stat they've lost 7 of the last 9.
But how did they play? Take your Liverpool boots off. How did they play? Did they play well against Liverpool?
Yeah, no, they played well. I mean, they at Anfield they could easily have gotten something from that game. Yeah. Liverpool, they had their chances.
Yeah.
Vinicius had... I think if Mitrovic was there, they would have scored.
Okay. So then
if he hadn't been fighting UFC referee.
When is this guy's? I almost said I need him for the Man City game, and they just lost to City last week. It was a close game.
Yeah, they gave Liverpool and City good games.
Good games, yeah. So
I think Leicester will get a draw at Fulham.
Yeah, I think so too.
They seem to be just inching their way point by point.
I'm going to go with Desmond 2-2. So that's my scoreline for that one. What draw are you going for?
I'm going with 1-1.
1-1.
I was trying to think of someone who scored 1-1, but I couldn't.
So Brighton's playing Everton. That's going to be an interesting one. I think Brighton will win that one, but I think it's going to be a battling 2-1 win.
I'm going to go 4-0 Brighton.
Oh, my word. Yeah, so obviously Everton needs to get points somewhere.
For my fantasy, which I've got 1,000 rand riding on it. I've got a small lead at the moment. I've a big Arsenal fan. His whole team is Arsenal. Okay. So Arsenal's demise has been good for my finances. I have 3 Brighton players in my team, so I need McAllister to score. Okay. I need Matoma to score. And I need Solly March to play and to score. Thank you very much. Or assist.
There we go. So there we go. You heard it here first by Brother Josh.
So I'm going for Matoma double, McAllister penalty, and a Solly March late 4th.
Don't know what to say about that. But we're both going for them to win. We're both going Forest to win against Southampton.
Yes.
There we go. And we are both going draw Fulham, Leicester City. We've got a difference in opinion on the West Ham Man United game. I'm going West Ham 2, Man United 2.
I'm going to go 2-1 to United. Okay. But hoping I'm wrong.
Yeah. Newcastle, Arsenal. I think we're going to lose, but I'm going 2-2.
I think it's going to be a draw as well. I think I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay. But just remember, because I don't predict losses, I'm saying 2-2, but I think it's going to be a Newcastle victory.
I'm hoping Arsenal can win that game.
Will it matter in the top 4 race?
Probably not, but never know. Newcastle might. Look what happened to Leicester for two seasons in a row. They were comfortably in the top 4.
Yeah, and then they eventually got.
But I think this Newcastle team has got something about them.
Got something about them.
I hear that Neymar might be signing for them.
Congratulations, Neymar.
Does Neymar know what Newcastle is like as a place?
The nightlife. The nightlife is amazing there.
But he just had a baby, so I don't.
Liverpool.
He didn't have the baby, but
yeah. Well, didn't he? Liverpool Brentford, is this Liverpool's third consecutive home game, or have I got that wrong? Did they play West Ham last weekend?
They played.
They played West Ham the weekday before that.
Last weekend. They played.
Tottenham.
Yeah,
Tottenham.
of course. How could I forget?
Spursy.
What a game that was. Liverpool again, not a poor for most of the game.
How were they in the first 15 minutes when they got to 3? It's
Good,
because
but
then
they were good in the first
but
20,
then the
25
defending
minutes.
from
But
Tottenham was
Tottenham
also...
fellas, Tottenham it's like they get injected before the game and they only wake up after 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. It's been like that literally all season. I'm going Liverpool to win 3-2. I think Liverpool will possibly be behind and then come and win that game by scoring 2 goals.
I'm not so confident in this game, but I'm going to go 2-1 to Liverpool.
Tottenham and Crystal Palace FC. I'm going with Tottenham to win 3-1 there on that one.
Palace have been good. Palace have been, since Roy Hodgson took over.
They lost 1 game, I think. Only 1 loss somewhere along.
But I think Spurs will win that game. I think 2-1 to Tottenham.
There we go. And then the Midlands derby, Wolves versus Aston Villa. I'm going 1-1 on that one.
I'm going. It's a tough one. I'm going Villa to win.
Okay. Close.
2-0.
2-0. Oh my word. Then Man City Leeds United. I'm going 5-0 Man City.
I'm going 8-1.
There we go. Erling Haaland's father to come on and play for Leeds United in the second half.
And score they won. And Haaland to get 5.
5 goals, yeah.
Early.
So that will be 40-something goals in the league. Eh? What's he on, 37 or
35?
35. So then that means he will be on 40 goals for the league season. So there we go. We skipping them and just giving them a high score because I think we both don't particularly like Man City.
I think Leeds are just bad.
Yeah,
they can't defend.
They can't defend to save their lives. So
but Big Sam is there now, so they probably win.
There we go. Come on.
The best manager.
Big Sam.
I would say between Rinus Michels, Johan Cruyff, Carlo Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Sam Allardyce. Probably the top 6 managers of all time.
There we go. Wenger number 1. Wenger boys. Bournemouth, Chelsea. I'm going.
And Alex Ferguson, sorry.
Purple nose. Bournemouth, Chelsea. I'm going Desmond on that one. 2-2. Chelsea to start getting forward.
Chelsea will win that game. I think eventually they will 2-1. I don't know how. I don't know why.
Yeah. But Bournemouth.
I don't know who's going to score their 2 goals. Probably 2 own goals.
Own goals. There we go. Yeah. So now we're going for our European League update. First of all, congratulations to Napoli. SS Napoli. Since the Maradona days, they've not won the Serie A. They have finally won the Serie A. Josh said 33 years, 1990. Is it 1990, 91 or 1989, 1990?
I think it's 89. 90.
So then it's 33 years. So Napoli are champions of Italy. And by tomorrow evening, if Barcelona win at home, I think to Osasuna, then they will be crowned. Is it Osasuna? I can't remember who they're playing. It might be Osasuna. Barcelona just needs to win that game, and then they will be crowned champions of Spain, taking over from Real Madrid, who have won the last 2 before them. So there we go. Have you been watching any of these leagues, Brother Josh? Probably checking scores and stuff, or not even checking scores.
You want me to tell the truth?
Give us the truth. Give us your opinion, if you have an opinion on anything, because you see these teams in the Champions League.
I see these teams as I scroll through my SuperSport app. Other than that, I obviously in the Champions League and the Europa League, I've seen the teams.
Yeah,
but
you probably would have seen Napoli. You would have seen Juventus.
Seen Napoli a couple of times. Yeah.
You would have seen Barcelona. You would have seen probably a little bit of Madrid.
I've seen a lot of Madrid.
Atletico Madrid, I'm referring to. The second best team in Spain.
I didn't know. They usually play camouflage
football. And then obviously a very exciting. I don't think it's going to be exciting in France because I think PSG will just lift their intensity levels in games because the intensity is quite low. They play the slow, timid type football, but then they've got these guys that can finish you off, Mbappe and Messi and Neymar. So
Messi doesn't play for them anymore.
He doesn't play for them anymore. he starts, but he doesn't play for them anymore. I don't know. I think he's probably going to Saudi Arabia. There's like
I
rumors
thought he's
of
going back to Barcelona.
there's a rumor of a 300 million something that he's going to get. So that's quite a bit of money.
But Ronaldo was there and he wants to leave already.
And he wants to leave already. And then the very interesting league in Germany, Bayern 1 point ahead of Dortmund. So that's like changing every week. So we'll see how it goes this upcoming week. Any further thoughts on, how about just giving a prediction, even if you don't really watch the leagues
Well,
itself?
I think the first three leagues we got are done, as we said. So it's just the Bayern Dortmund that's.
Yes, I really hope Dortmund.
Me too.
Yeah, really
but
hope.
I think Bayern will.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, they just they go up above. Dortmund goes above Bayern, and then they just draw for no reason. They dominated the game that they drew against Bochum. And then they just conceded a stupid.
But Dortmund have to win their last 4 games and hope Bayern mess up.
Yeah. I do think Bayern must play Leipzig. I must just confirm that. So that could be, and Leipzig's form has picked up. Okay, they did lose 1 in the. I'm not trying to think. This is the latest one, yeah. So they've lost 1 out of their last 4, Leipzig. So we'll see how that goes. But I still think Bayern will eventually get through. Dortmund have a young team.
German league looks quite competitive because 62 points of the 30 games to be leading the league.
It's a low score.
It's not a lot of points, which is a good thing.
Brother Josh, so here we are at the Champions League. Obviously, Man United fans look away because your treble is in danger.
Well, they have the chance to
stop it in the FA Cup now. So I think they will get the treble. That's just my view. So Josh, your thoughts on the 2 Champions League semi-finals? Do you have scores of the first leg games? Because I know you said Man City, AC Milan to go through.
First leg, I will go 1-1 with Real Madrid City. They're playing in Madrid.
Yeah.
And it's first leg, second leg in Milan is
both is at the same stadium.
Just change the dressing room, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they actually have 3 dressing rooms, so there's 2 home dressing rooms. So
I'm gonna go 1-0 to AC Milan.
I'm gonna go 1-1 in both games. I'm going 1-1 in both games.
But you see City and Inter going.
Yeah, I see Inter winning the second leg, and I see City at home. So yeah, I do see. So for example, because we're not doing a show next week, we're doing videos that we're sending in. But I think it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to be 1-1 both games, and then I think City will win 3-1 at home, and I think Inter will win 2-1 in the second leg. So that's the only difference in scores in terms of the second.
Do you think that Real Madrid have a chance to beat City?
Yes, definitely. They do. They're not in form again. They're not in form in the league. So similar to prior to Liverpool, they were very scratchy in the league. They were scratchy in the was it the semi-final against City or the semi-final against Chelsea?
Quarterfinal. Yeah.
So they played quarterfinal against City, semi-final against Chelsea, or the other way around?
You mean
last season?
Oh, last season.
Yeah. Which way was it?
No, quarterfinal, same. Quarterfinal Chelsea, semi-final City.
Geez, the exact same thing 2 years in a row. So the balls have been,
Who did they play in the second round? PSG. Yeah. Yes, they were down and Benzema
came back. So so Real Madrid again, they have a loss of form. They're actually playing tonight in the final of the Copa del Rey. There's no league games in Spain. So Real Madrid Osasuna in the final of the Copa del Rey. So they can win.
So Barcelona are clearly not playing Osasuna then.
Oh yes, true. But then and Barcelona is not playing this weekend as well.
Oh, okay.
So they are playing Osasuna, but it's next week. So Osasuna are playing Real Madrid and Barcelona in the next 2 games. So once
I
again,
think that Barcelona they would have won more leagues if they had gotten rid of Messi sooner.
Yeah, good point. The most watched competition in the whole world, brother Josh, the Europa Conference League. So we've got Roma, Leverkusen.
Next season it will be when Liverpool in it.
Yeah, I don't think Liverpool will be in it based on my predictions.
When Manchester United are in it, then.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Josh, on let's go with Roma Juventus. Sorry, not Roma Juventus. That's the prediction. Josh, you've gone Roma Sevilla. So overall, you can give an overall opinion on the 2 games.
Sevilla, just because of their pedigree in the Europa League, they seem to rise, just like Real Madrid do in the Champions League. Sevilla seem to be it's their competition. They have a heritage, a history of doing well in the Europa League. So I'm going to go with Sevilla, even though Juventus are the bigger club, obviously, and probably have the better squad, better team. But I don't think Juventus are too asked by it, are they?
Probably not. Yeah, I'm just probably not a different opinion. Probably agree with everything Josh said. And even a couple of weeks ago, I said Sevilla will go through, but I do, and probably not right to do so, take the current league form in terms of, are you scoring, are you defending well? And unfortunately, Sevilla's dropped again. So
minor technicalities, those.
Yeah, there we go. Minor technicalities. But then again, the same thing I'm saying now happened before Man United. Sevilla had 2 losses before the first leg against United. Then they were 2-0 down against Man United, and then they scored 5 goals without reply, 2 and 3. 5 goals without reply. So it's very difficult to now say, okay, Sevilla is not defending that well. They're conceding stupid late goals, 2 late goals in their last 2 La Liga games. However, they've got Vlahovic, whose form is picking up. He's been poor. And they've got Pogba not playing. So that's a good thing. And then Paredes is in good form. Rabiot is in good form. Rabiot is injured, but he might make this game. So that's why I'm going Juventus Roma.
How is he in good form if he's injured?
Who's this?
Rabiot.
He has never in his life scored more than 4 goals. He's got 12 goals this season. So his season's form has been fantastic. 12 goals.
Do you think that it's an advantage to play the second leg at home?
Not anymore, no. Not with the fact that the away goal rule that's been taken out after the 120 minutes. So I don't think so. It hasn't been a discernible change for me in terms of the way you want to play. So yeah, I don't know if it's fair or unfair, the fact that the away goal rule, because Arsenal would have gone through against Sporting because we scored 2 away goals. So it was 2-2 at their ground and 1-1 at the Emirates. So Arsenal would have played Juventus in the previous round, which I think now in hindsight, I said on the show that it's a good thing for Arsenal, but it seems like momentum has gone. City played every 3 days and they kept their momentum, whereas Arsenal had to wait a week. So if it was a bad result, they had to wait a week to try and rectify it, and then it just became worse and worse. So I think going forward that you need to play every 3 days rather than constantly say you have to rest. Even though we still have had injuries. Our injuries to Tomiyasu out for the season and Saliba probably out for the season happened in the Sporting game. But you can't look at it like that. Look at the teams that's been playing every 3 days and that's still in the competitions. They've got form now that every 3 days they're playing. They don't have a week to think about the next opposition. They got 2 days only. I think that's best, having just gone through this now. So I've gone Roma Juventus. Roma, just from a defensive standpoint, they have. I'm just trying to think now. They've drawn the last 3 games 1-1 in the league, or they lost against Lazio in the middle of those last 3 games, and then they've drawn 1-1 either side of the loss. So they are conceding, but Mourinho is very good at these competitions. So I think Roma will go through. I think you also say Roma will go through. We will eventually get to the final, so we don't need to predict who's going to win it now. West Ham, Fiorentina, Josh, you were going to say something. Go for it.
No, I was just going to say that after what happened in the last round with Roma, coming back in the last minutes and then winning, I just feel like their name is written on the trophy.
There we go. So there we go. So Josh is not going to wait. He's saying now that Roma...
Of course, if Roma don't go through, then I have to change my prediction.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Let's just hang on. So we both gone for West Ham, Fiorentina. We feel Alkmaar and Basel are unlikely, probably just because of the names. So Alkmaar, they've been good. West Ham have been okay, and they still got to the semi-final. So it just shows you how bad this competition is. West Ham have been okay, and they are in the semi-final. And quite a few
Spurs, I think, should win this next year in the trophy.
I don't think Spurs will finish in the top 7. That's just my opinion. I think Spurs will finish 8th, in my opinion.
Possible.
So
Or 9.
There you go. Will Chelsea catch up with them? Let's not go there. So, Brother Josh, we've come to the end of the show. Before we do our outro, I just want to quickly talk about upcoming shows. So there's a couple of changes. So before I used to do a Tuesday show, however, it's been difficult due to the wonderful power cuts and all that, and difficult to get guests on the show on a Tuesday. It's the middle of the week. People are busy coming from work and all those type of things. So what I've done was I'm actually going to record on a Thursday evening the Gunning Truth show and use that audio in my podcast so that people have the audio option, and then the same show. Because what I've had to do is I've had to create content where there's only one game a week for two separate shows, whereas I can just combine them. So on a Friday afternoon on YouTube, you will have the YouTube version of the Gunning Truth show, which I will do with slides and in-depth review Arsenal. And then obviously that same video podcast I will then convert to audio as well to then post it on Spotify and iTunes, which I did with yesterday's show. So that's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, and it's on iTunes. And then our show, we are now doing a bi-weekly show. So not every Saturday that we record this, because I want us to see if we can incorporate short videos into the week that we don't record. So we're just going to see how that goes. And then the season is winding down, so it is less games to speak about. However, there is still games midweek. There is still games on the weekend. So that is why I just want to see how it goes. It's just a test phase. We'll do more content in the off season because, Josh, I want us to have a look at doing watch-alongs of, and I'm already thinking of the Hand of God, England versus Argentina. Is it 86 or 90?
86.
86, the Hand of God. That's going to be our first game. The Hand of God, Maradona. The problem is we need to find that game because we're probably only going to get 10-minute highlights on YouTube with a dodgy signal. So I'm going to hopefully be able to find that game. I would definitely want to do Arsenal.
We have to watch that game on a black and white TV though. And,
there we go.
And we have to watch it in a cafe drinking Coca-Cola.
And then I definitely want to do my first ever Premier League game. Newcastle United 5, Manchester United 0. And then the Liverpool 3-3. Is it Liverpool 3-3 Newcastle? Stan Collymore! 3-3. So
4-3.
we're going to... Was it 4-3 to Liverpool?
Collymore scored
he scored the winner, yeah. So we're doing Liverpool versus Newcastle watch along. We're going to do England versus Argentina World Cup semi-final 1986. We're going to do Arsenal 5, Middlesbrough 3. One of my favorite Arsenal games at Highbury. And there's a game I'm missing. Liverpool 4.
United 5, no.
Oh, yeah. Newcastle 5, Man United, no. I don't like Man United. Josh likes them a little bit. So we probably leave it at that. Josh, any final thoughts while I try to get the screen off here? Any final thoughts, brother Josh?
No, just it should be interesting games this weekend again. It's getting to the point where it's almost the end of the season.
Yeah.
And
trophies gets handed out and players of the season.
We don't want trophies to hand out. I think they should just end the season.
End the season.
End the season.
There we go.
Null and void.
Null and void the season, and then maybe how about taking a couple of points off Man City? Just take 2 points off.
The thing is,
3 points.
If things were done properly, they would be relegated because of their they are currently in the dark. How come no one is talking about that?
Well, there's a reason why, because people have been paid not to talk about it.
There we go.
We haven't talked about it either, so maybe Man
City. The Premier League champions next season should play in the same league as Wrexham.
There we go.
You heard it here first.
There we go.
Haaland will probably get about 15 goals in that league because I'll kick him to pieces.
15 in one game, maybe. Yeah. But then after that one game, he's injured for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So, Josh, just to finish off, if Man City gets docked 15 points, which no one is talking about because they fear Man City, and they have to take away the league titles, does Liverpool get another 3 or another 2?
I think they're only looking at it from, even though it doesn't make sense to me, only looking from 2009 to 2018, something, or 10 to 18. Okay. But
and does that
it was in that period that allowed them to build the team that they didn't need to overspend once we got to 2008. Yeah, exactly. So
who all gets?
Them right there.
Yeah. Does Man United also get a league title if they have to?
I think Oli gets a league title. Imagine.
Yeah. Well, if Arsenal can get one, then I'll accept that.
I don't think Arsenal get one.
Why not?
This season.
Oh, they're not going to count it. No, but I'm saying they have to dock them points this season. Because remember,
I think they should just
give everything away. Give them all away. But I wouldn't be too happy just receiving it that way also. Even though technically, if they weren't there, then the other team wins it. But just to be given the title like that, is that acceptable?
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
But we'll take it. We'll take it. Shameless.
Brother Josh, that's the end of the show. Go well. Cheers. See you in 2 weeks' time.